Are you thinking about moving to Seattle in 2026 and buying a home here? Before you do anything, there are 5 big things you must know, or this market will eat you alive. No, literally. And if you get these wrong, you can end up house poor with brutal commute or in the wrong suburb for your kids and for your lifestyle. In this video, I am breaking down 5 things in plain English so you can move here with confidence instead of guessing. Hey Ravi, Ramachandran with the Rams Group here. My wife Sijy and I help buyers, sellers, and especially relocating families make smart moves in the Seattle and Eastside areas. If you are moving here for a tech job, healthcare, Amazon, Microsoft, Google, to name a few, whatever it is, or you already live here and want to stop renting and finally buy, this video is specifically for you. Here I'm going to walk you through 5 things you must understand before you buy in Seattle or the East Side in 2026. First off, 2026 is a reset year, not a crash. And you specifically need to hone in and understand what kind of market 2026 will actually be. And I call it the great housing reset environment, not a free fall crash or the crazy pandemic bubble that we saw. Prices in Seattle area are expected to move in a pretty modest range, not in double digits that we saw up or down. Coming to mortgage, those rates are still higher than those ultra cheap days, but they're more stable and that gives you more predictability. Now what that means for you is this: your job is not to be a market timer, your job is to be a smart and a prepared buyer. So you finally have a little more time and a few more options, but you still need a solid plan. The second of the decisions would be where to move, Seattle or the East Side. What lifestyles do each provide? Now that's something you'll make even before making a price decision. Now Seattle gives you more city vibe, walkability, restaurants, old charm, and in many cases slightly more flexible pricing, especially with condos and townhomes. The East Side, on the other hand, Bellevue, Redmond, Kirkland, Sammamish, Issaquah, Bothell, to name a few, usually mean higher prices, but also newer housing. They come with strong schools and closer access to big tech campuses, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, what have you. That's it. If you have or want kids, or you care a lot about specific school districts, the East Side is often where that conversation goes. When you're deciding between Seattle and East Side, these are all points that you want to consider. So instead of asking which one is cheaper, ask yourself, where will my family's daily life actually work the best? So that'll help you make a good decision. Besides, you'll save a ton of stress and buyer's remorse after buying, okay? Then let's look at the cost of living and monthly payment reality. Now this is where you need to get brutally honest about the cost of living, especially in Seattle and the East Side areas. So let me break it down. Seattle is a high cost, high demand market, and housing is a huge part of that. Now, your real number is not what the lender says that you can qualify for. Your real number is what the monthly payment lets you still travel, eat out sometimes, pay for daycare or sports, and sleep peacefully at night. So as you look at Seattle or East Side homes, zoom out from just the list price. There are other hidden tangibles that go along with it with respect to your affordability. Now factor in property taxes, insurance, utilities, potential HOA dues, homeowners association, and everything else that hits your bank account every month. Now let's also talk about the commute, hybrid work, as well as daily life in both areas. Now, as you would agree with me, your commute and your daily work setup absolutely shape where you want to live and should buy, right? On a map, something can look only like 12 miles away, but in real life, that might mean crossing the bridges and sitting on I-5, 405, 520, or 90 bridges at peak traffic. Trust me, Seattle traffic is not fun. If you or your partner are hybrid, maybe like 2 to 3 days a week, and your office is in downtown Seattle, say South Lake Union, or in Bellevue or Redmond, you need to build your home search around that specific rhythm. Oh, this will save you a ton of regret post-purchase. Now think about which days you're commuting and when the kids need to be at school or other activities, and how much time you're willing to spend in the car versus actually living your life. Now, a slightly smaller house with a shorter commute can feel way better than a perfect house that traps you on a daily basis in traffic. Not fun. Now, this is the stuff people moving here often underestimate. Now, all that said, 2026 requires a smarter buying strategy, not a 2021 bidding war strategy that we just got past. Yes, the market is more balanced, but the really good homes, great school zones, and those in great condition, great locations still move fast in the Seattle and Eastside areas. Now, this is a market where preparation wins, and it wins big time. Now, this means you are fully pre-approved and know your max comfortable payment, and you're clear on your must-haves versus nice-to-haves so that you can make the trade-offs. In some situations, we can negotiate on inspection credits, even sellers help with a rate buy-down and other things like that. In other situations, we still need to move quickly and write a sharp offer because the home is clearly underpriced for that particular neighborhood. So urgency is key. Now the point is, you can't just wing it and hope that you'll land in the perfect home, but you need a custom plan for the Seattle and Eastside, not a generic national YouTube strategy, if you will. Now, of course, you're watching here. I'm just giving you what you need to watch for, even though this video will be on YouTube. So let's do a quick recap so that this sticks. I want you to recall those 5 things that we discussed before you buy on the Seattle and Eastside in 2026. And the first is that this is a reset year, not a wild crash or boom even. Second is Seattle versus Eastside is a lifestyle and school's decision first, then it being a price decision. Focus on your true monthly payment and overall cost of living, not just the price tag and what you technically qualify for. The fourth would be commute and hybrid work patterns can make or break your lifestyle here. So build your search around how your week actually looks. Then lastly, you need a 2026 style buyer strategy, pre-approval, clear priorities, and neighborhood-specific intel so that you can move quickly when the right home hits the market. All that said, here's your call to action. If you're planning to move to Seattle or the East Side in 2026 and you want a clear game plan, not just random listings, feel free to reach out. My contact information is in the description below. Feel free to call, text, direct message me, or grab a spot on my calendar. We'll build a custom Seattle Eastside relocation and buyer game plan around your job, your budget, your commute, and your specific lifestyle. You'll be glad you did. And if you want more straight talk videos on the Seattle housing market and the Eastside areas, living, schools, where to buy next, etc., make sure you hit that subscribe so that you don't miss the next one. I'll see you soon. Bye.